here and just explain why, right? And the
I'm a
scientists.
Globie.
Okay, what's up? Do you agree? What are we wrong about?
Well, I just wanted to know first. I wanted because I don't believe in the moon landing. We talked earlier. You called me bad faith, unacceptable. But from your perspective, I've talked to a lot of flurf. What
There
is
you
the
go. You're
goal?
bad faith. You're bad faith.
You're bad faith. Projecting. I want to know what the goal is in your mind of the establishment. Seriously.
Okay, but real fast. So you
The
so
route
so
put
do
on.
you understand that sunsets would happen on a flat Earth and that objects would disappear from the bottom up on a flat Earth?
Never really entertained the idea.
So you don't even
But
understand what the show's
well,
about.
that's fallacious. I'm just not paying attention to that. You said we had priority. I came to ask you a question. What's the motivation?
Priority to talk about the subject. I'll answer your question. It's very simple. For
Thanks.
for for one, okay, truth just matters in general. So regardless of why someone lied, the truth is important.
No,
And
what's their goal
hey,
for pulling off the
buddy,
lie?
I'm talking. Okay, so I'm going to give you speculations as to why someone lied, but if I'm not the one that lied, how could I possibly know with certainty why someone else did? I'm supposed to divine the thoughts of someone else. It's an insane request. But if you're asking for in good faith for speculation, then you should listen to the answer. And first of all, it doesn't matter why someone lied if they did. And the implications of this lie is pretty big. They're pretty big, right? Because if the Earth's actually stationary, it's in the center of the entire universe. If it's in the center of everything, who put it there, right? If the Earth is a plane, then is there more land? If you keep going further south, what happens? Because they drew a circle around and said we can't go out there. So as to why it's important or why would it matter, there could be way more land, way more resources. It misleads people into this belief that atheism and nihilism makes sense because we're a tiny speck of dust in this ever expanding universe of nothingness, and it's just random happenstance that we are here. So it definitely has huge implications, and it is obviously very important as it's one of the number one topics and questions that mankind has tried to answer for all of history. Why are we here? Where are we? And then discussing cosmology. Now, as to their motivation, well, if there is more land or resources, what's the most valuable thing that exists? Land and resources. So if they were to draw a circle around you like the Hunger Games and tell you that you can't leave it, and you're not allowed to freely and privately explore out past the 60th south latitude, they could be, of course, keeping hoarding tons of land and resources for themselves. And they basically convinced people that exploration is a thing of the past. We've already discovered everything that there is. And if they can convince you that you can't trust any of your senses, you don't even know where you are, you're much less of a threat to them. You don't even know where you are. You go out and you say everything that you see you think is backwards. This is a well-known type of manipulation of the mind that they did to slaves back in the day, right? They would just tell them lies and make them and believe and convince them of lies, right? Basic things that they could discern for themselves, so that if you feel like I can't discern the truth, I need my authority to tell me what it is because I'm incapable of doing it, you're very easy to brainwash. You're very easy to control. It's easy to make you a slave. So if you were going to try to control an entire group of people on the earth, what better way to start than to make sure they have no idea what the earth even is, where they even are. They could hide land and resources. They could hide the importance of this place. If it's in the center of the universe, then obviously the antecedent of that is that something put it there. It isn't random. It can't just be chaotic, right? It's ordered and, had to be placed there. And obviously you're much more difficult to control if there is a creator. And yeah, there you go. Children at the age of like 5 or so are being told this insane belief that they're unimportant, and they grow up thinking like, wow, a rock could come kill me at any moment. I'm just some tiny speck of dust. I'm a little insignificant rock, right? Where some bacteria started growing, and I'm like just purely random. Nothing matters. What's the purpose? So they want you to feel insignificant. They being whatever group of people like enjoy having control. There are very powerful groups of people and very wealthy families that openly admit and write about the fact that this is how they view it. They view the general population as mundane and incapable of policing themselves and taking care of themselves and being barbaric, primitive, mundane people, right? That need to be told what to do, given what they're allowed to know about, and then not kept in the know because they can't be trusted as responsible with knowledge. So, what a coincidence, the people that say crazy stuff like that are the same people and families that have the most wealth, the most resources, the most control over public institutions, the most control over all technological sectors, and all the media and propaganda that we're fed. Okay? So, there's the answer. The motivation is to just keep people stupid and make sure they're detached from reality and where they really are and understanding and trusting themselves to interpret the world and always looking to authority to tell them. And I'm going to say a little bit more here. I want you to really think about what I'm saying, which is why you wouldn't have been able to if you weren't on mute. But I want you to really think about it. You don't have to come off of mute and try to show how I'm wrong or something. You should really think about what I'm saying. When you go outside, you see the horizon's horizontal, but they told you that it's curving. And when you go outside, you see the sun is moving in the sky, and they told you the sun is not moving. That's what they told you. And they told you when you go outside, it can be completely still, no wind, and you feel like the earth is completely motionless and the stuff in the sky is moving. They told you no, the earth is actually tilted, wobbling 3 to 4 different wobbles while it's spinning 1,000 miles per hour east at the equator, and then it's shooting through space. You just can't tell. And it makes all the stuff in the sky look like it's moving. So you see the stuff in the sky moving, the stars, the sun, and actually that's an illusion. They're not moving. And everything revolves around the earth. Like it makes the earth look like it's in the center. Actually, it's not in the center. It's just an illusion. Right? We see the sun and the moon in the sky during this lunar eclipse, a Selenian eclipse. Actually, it's not in the sky, though. It just looks like it is. And so you're like, dang, if I just went out here and thought for myself and looked at the world, I would have no idea what the world really is. I would think it's a stationary topographical plane with stuff moving around it in the center, but turns out it's actually tilted, wobbling, spinning, revolving, not in the center, insignificant, tucked away in a random corner. So you think, okay, I need people that are smarter than me to tell me what's going on. Everything's the opposite. So, and I really wanted to drive this home just for the audience and everything. It is very important for this reason, and we can't get into details about this, but if you kept up with the last 3-4 years, they were telling people the very thing that kept them alive was actually going to kill them. They were telling them that even though it looks like everything is normal, actually it's not. It's super dangerous, right? And so as they saw right in front of them, they had to believe the opposite was true, and it made it easy to control you. So that's the real answer right there. That's the biggest implications, is if you can't trust your own senses, experiences, and ability to discern and reason to find truth, right? And you have to turn to authority, then you're very easy to control and be a slave. I know that was a lot, but that's the answer, and I shouldn't have to answer it anymore.
Yeah, you got to tighten that up. Tighten that up. Like 10 minutes long. The only thing that I would push back on is the nihilism, because that's an expensive psyop you're describing. I think it's more scary to think that we're like ants in a tank getting looked down at in this little firmament dome. God's watching us kill each other. That's terrifying.
No, but nihilism, meaning that there's no purpose. That's what nihilism means.
Versus that existential terror that you're a little animal in a tank.
Okay, so you're defending nihilism, but that's fine. I'm just telling.
One's nihilism and one's existential terror. Yeah.
Or you don't, or you understand that people are just free and would actually require benevolence, as would the earth giving you everything that you need in abundance.
Trapped in a tank. We Europeans' destiny is to colonize the stars, and you're interfering with that. You're lowering everybody's IQ. But I'll relinquish my time.
Okay.
So you can.
Yeah, you can get out of here. You can get out of here.
Well, feel free to hang out if you have any comments to me directly. If you want to be talk negative. Back, because I mean,
I don't think he wants. We want to play that IQ game. Like, just chill.
Have you guys ever seen Have you ever seen that video where it's the stars and jars, where they're using frequency and sound, and that's dope, dude.
Yeah, sonoluminescence.
I was like, what? Yeah, dude. When I seen that and I'm looking up at the sky, it's like that looks exactly the same.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yo,
another one is.
Yo, I was just gonna say, I was totally sleeping, and I heard you guys in here at battle because it is a battle, and you know, there's a lot of people with ego and a lot of people with pride, and people don't want to be, you know, they don't want to figure out that they've been lied to. But ultimately, what every single person in here should be doing is seeking the truth. Not what you think is true, not what the authority figure said, oh, this is actually fact and true. Just take a second to get to know who you are and humble yourself and seek the truth. Because I want to tell y'all, the reason I got on this mission is because I have 3 small kids. And I said to myself, if it's not a spinning water ball, if it's not the heliocentric theory, if the theory of gravity isn't actually what causes things to go down, am I going to just keep what they told me when I was a toddler and pass it to my kids without looking into it? And I said, no. I said, I'm going to look into it. And ultimately, I don't know how many of y'all know, I do believe in a creator. I believe in the God of the Bible. I believe in Yeshua. And for 14 years, I've been walking this life, not a truther life, not a conspiracy theory dude, just raising kids and loving my wife well on a great journey. Looking into the truth, looking into is the Earth a stationary topographical plane or is it a spinning water ball in space? It's been challenging, but it's also been freeing. I count half the people in this chat and in this room family that I would trust, that I do trust. And I see on the the anti-flat Earth side a lot of aggression, a lot of emotions, a lot of spiraling, triggered. It's like, why? We're just talking about science, aren't we? And their answer might be, well, but it's been determined 2,000 years ago that we live on a sphere, or the authority figures, the PhDs, and all of the people at NASA are way smarter than me. They make more money than me. Why would I listen to you and not them? Well, what would it mean if I was to tell you that I have the truth and they don't? Does that matter? Does the truth of where we live matter? Because if you can't answer that honestly, and if you just get triggered and say, no, dude, you're stupid, then we're not going to have a good conversation. But everyone should pursue the truth because it's there.
Well, Witsit brought up the jab stack earlier. I think a lot of people do get frustrated when they try and red pill or awaken so-called people, and immediately their mind draws to, oh, I bet you think the earth is flat too. That is a frustrating endeavor because I can't get my foot in the door with people about things like 9/11.
Well, dude,